Alright guys, we're back for yet another Bleach Brave Souls video, and because we're in a bit of a dry phase waiting for what's going to be upcoming for the end of month, which I'm anticipating to be Stern Ritters, and with the fact that we are also going to be getting maintenance on the 27th, something new is going to drop, I just figure I may as well bring a new type of idea to the table and just talk about my top 10 most disliked units, or even my top 10 most hated units. That being said, I'm just gonna say this right now. If any of these characters on this list happen to be your favorite characters, and you do not like to hear me criticize about the characters and giving my reason as to why I don't like them, and you get very emotional about it, I do not recommend watching this video whatsoever, because some of the characters included can be okay, solid, but most of them are pretty much bad characters that I just don't like, and some of them I just absolutely hate overall. And this is going to be a very biased opinion, okay? This is nothing too factual like my top 10 lists where I take into account everything about the characters, giving you guys as much accurate information as possible. This is basically going to be my list of the characters I don't like the most. If you guys also have a list of your top 10 most disliked or hated characters, let me know in the comment section below, because it's always good to hear different opinions overall. So with that being said, let's get started. Starting off with the honorable mentions, or should I say dishonorable mentions. 1000-Year Blower Rengiku. Now, I never really pulled this character, and I never got to use her besides test playing her. Look, the thing that I never liked about this unit is that she got such a cracked set of skills, and she just got the worst possible kit whatsoever, which nobody wanted. She got the Christmas Noel kit, which is basically the 18% shave, vortex into pushback attack, basically 1000-Year Blower Shinji's SA1 but as an SA2, and then the SA3 being full screen. It was just overall a very bad decision when it comes to making her kit, because if you're gonna give her the vortex into pushback attack, give her the beam SA1, or if you're gonna keep the 18% shave, give her like a 960 just to make the character so much better overall. And that's why I kind of never really liked this unit too much. So there's that, but I'm gonna at least applaud her because she can at least be useful in guild quests. So there's that. This Halloween Noel, okay, I don't particularly hate the unit whatsoever. My question was, why did they make this unit? Keep in mind, this character came out as soon as Very Hard Guild Quest just dropped, and they just basically made a nuker that was on par with the Power 1000-Year Blower Yamamoto. And besides that, if you did not want to pull for her, Symphony Ichigo was still the perfect unit to use for the ranged Soul Reaper Guild Quest, and it still is, and I would argue to say that he just got better because of Academy Shuhei existing to buff him up. But besides that, only Berserker 40, damage to drain enemies, damage to weaken enemies. She, for whatever reason, got Frenzy +1, and this was a character released back in 2023, was it not? Yeah, 2023, and we were getting characters with Frenzy +1. No, that's just bad. 80% SP boost, no increased ailment chance, and she got a worse SA1, 18% shave. At least they did give her the 960 into Homing Vortex and a full screen SA3. My question is more so of a why kind of situation, so yeah. And then lastly, this 1000-Year Blower Soifun, although I did grow to like her a bit more for guild quests because she did better than I thought, and most of my negative opinion is pretty much gone, besides the lack of guard break, because when I was redoing limit break requests, I'm not gonna lie, when I was not inflicting ailments with the SA2 and sometimes inflicting with the SA3, SA1, like, you needed to break guard first, and sometimes I would see that my enemies would not get inflicted by an ailment, and it's just very apparent that guard break being MIA on this unit is having a bit of a negative impact, and over time, as we get harder content, I do think that this character is not going to age too well, but she's still a fun character with a crazy cracked EX move of being able to lunge through, the flies and lunge returning for the very first time in a long time, and again, my gripes were the SA2 not being able to inflict ailments, and then, you know, not having guard break, which is why I still value Mugetsu to be better than this character. It's not that look, these three characters, it's not that I hate, it's just, I have some minor nitpicks to them. So yeah, these are just like dishonorable mentions, honorable mentions, take it as you will. But now we can get to the top 10 most disliked, most hated units. So starting it off at number 10, Azushiro. This character, he had so much potential to be good, and the crazy thing is that he was power crept by 7th anniversary Uryu in mere months. Mere months. Back then when he came out, he was an okay nuker. He just didn't have weakening, but he still had, like, you know, most of the stuff to make up for it, like 80% SP boost, Frenzy +1, and pretty much just about it. Oh yeah, he also has Bombardment too, so there's that to take into consideration. He at least did have Guard Break with Havoc, double killers of Hollow and Oronkars, and the crazy thing about this character is the fact that he was immune to every status element and can pretty much dodge Oronkars and Hollows, and also introduced the counterattack skill, which is basically when you dodge, the enemies do take a bit of damage, although this skill was never really all that good. It was just a gimmicky skill made for Azushiro. Now, I get that this character was made purely for fan service, just to completely replicate how he works in the Spirits Are Forever With You novel, but the kit, it just wasn't it. It just wasn't it. SA1, it's a ranged collision attack. Best way to describe is that this is Meninya's SA1. That being said, Meninya at least worked with that SA1 for co-op content because she had Frenzy +2, 100% pure damage with Berserker 50, and not to mention, had much higher mags. It was a 60% mag compared to Azushiro having 30%, needing to inflict ailments, and overall just wasn't crazy. Like, this character was worse than Christmas Noel overall. Like, I actually overrated him, and I do regret it. And then the SA2 Vortex into pushback attack. Now, in this kind of case, because you wanted to get the 80% SP boost, it's a solid, strong attack. It just, the SA1 just wasn't it. So I kind of wish that this character was done a bit better, but that's all. At number 9, this Menor Yumichika. And this pisses me off the most because we still do not have an actual power super potion farmer that is actually really good, because the best character in IT is Lishe, and this Yumichika pales in comparison to Lishe. Was a character that got resurrected, picked up Pierce Iron Skin, and also had 40% Berserker with 66% pure damage. No farming skills, but again, was better. And then this guy, he set up a solid skill set, but for whatever reason, they kept getting really hard with his kit to the point that he was way worse than the Tech Concord 1000-Year Blower Uryu. By that I mean, like, Uryu at least had the homing vortex to help with keep the enemies locked in and was still damaging the boss, and the SA1 of course was aimable. And then this guy, you just die with him very easily. It's not even funny. Like, I don't even bring this guy for droplets. I don't bring this guy for potions, nor for super potions. At that point, I just want to carry. Or if I want to farm super potions, I'm just going to use Power Nelio and probably slap on the Masaki Link, if I'm being honest. And yeah, only 60% Berserker. Power Attribute character strong attack damage of 20%. And he did have stamina recovery, which was solid with Havoc. The kit was bad though. Shotgun Blast, I mean, it's okay, but the SA2 was by far the biggest L ever. 750 all around him. This guy didn't even have an actual full screen attack, and it's not a lunge, by the way. It's literally just an AoE all around him, and with this, you were prone to dying very easily, and that was why Yumichika sucked, and I never liked him. I was very fortunate to not pull this character too many times. Like, I think I pulled him from, like, a paid ticket pack, and that was it. But, like, overall, yeah. this character was not good, and that's why I don't really particularly like the character, and I had to pretty much drop him off. At number 8, Iba, what were they thinking with this character? What were they thinking? This character came out as a mid-month unit alongside Ikkaku and Shuhei. Now, Ikkaku was completely fine. Shuhei, the biggest gimmick was not having Havoc, and of course, no full-screen SA3, but he was still a Linksaw Potion Link at that. But Iba was another goddamn power character, and this was before, you know, power started to get really good units with the likes of Future Society, Ulquiorra, Mugetsu, Soifon. You guys get the point. Like, back then, power was in a way more terrible state, and this character, he did not have the 80% SP boost, okay? He still had an okay skill set, such as, you know, giving 40% more damage to Power Soul Reapers. This was very useful for my 1000-year blower, so I found when I used her in the Nightmare Human Killer when I was away on vacation. With Berserker 40, damage to weaken enemies of 40%, guard break, multi-barrier. Okay, I'm gonna get into the issue about this character really soon. So, for starters, he did not have increased element chance against Quincy's. Okay? That was the biggest issue already with this character, and he got a shield SA2. And guess what? This character has the barrage attack. It's the same goddamn attack as Masaki, Yumichika, this Halloween Toshiro, and this Tech Bambietta. And you can't inflict ailments. You cannot. What the fuck were they thinking with this character? Like, what? That's a terrible design. And on top of it, you have to wait for like 18 seconds to get the strong attack back, and there's just like no benefits. Like, there's no merit to using this character. If you pulled him, you'd actually feel like dog shit. Like, I pulled this character during the 9th anniversary, and I did not like pulling him. I never used him, but like, goddamn, his design was so bad. And it did not help with the SA1 being the same as Asashiro, by the way. Yeah, the same one. Like, bro, this SA1 should only be on farmers like Meninia, where she can actually make use of it. Not in Guild Quest now, bro. That's bad. That's bad. I don't want to see these kind of characters ever again, Caleb. I don't know what the hell you were thinking, but no. Please no. Number 7, Kiryu. Now, what you guys are going to be seeing moving forward is the majority of the characters on my list always have a problem with the SA2, and there's of course a range collision attack accompanied by this. Matter of fact, the entire list is going to be comprised of mainly characters with range collision. Just letting you guys know right now. I do not know what the fuck they were thinking with Kiryu. She should have been an ad character. She came out for Ranged Human and was supposed to be the booster alongside Macy to even tackle on that guild quest. And guess what? Now, they've done so many changes to the guild quests where at one point she became better, but was not immune anymore into her own GQ rotation. And now they split the actual human GQ to the point that there's a melee and range counterpart, and she's back to being bad again. Like, easily by far the worst out of the Squad Zero remakes that has ever been released by giving us a booster. I'm sorry. Like, Soifon, she got away with it because she was melee and actually had a really solid kit to her for Guild Quest. Here, it just doesn't work, and it's crazy because she got solid skills like Berserker 60, damage to paralyzed enemies of 40%, no increased element chance, just letting you guys know, 80% SP boost, Havoc, Sharpshooter, freeze immunity, medic, and sprinter +1. Her issue is the goddamn SA2, the boost and the heals. So it's only gonna hit once, there's that, but the biggest issue is you don't do damage. You don't do damage. You don't do damage because look, she has a freaking melee SA2. You know what that means? You're only gonna do 1 damage in ranged human guild quest. One. This character is gonna be a year old soon in just a couple of months, and this character aged really badly as a Guild Quest character. And she was designed for Guild Quest too, and they never even patched her out. Like, bro, how can you tell me You can fix the likes of Future Society Orihime. You can fix the likes of Future Society Ulquiorra, but not a character centered around Guild Quest. Even Toshiro, the Halloween one, which was centered around Guild Quest, he had a goddamn melee SA3 because of the trap mechanic, and they fixed it into a ranged attack. Like, hello? Hello? Well, like, what are you guys doing? Honestly. And she had the 18% shave, like, as if that was any better. You were also stuck with a crappy SA1. Very funny, very funny, very funny, very funny, very funny, very funny. Bro, at least Rengiku worked for Guild Quest. This character never worked. That's the sad part about all of this, and that's why I have her a bit higher on the list. Next, I fucking hate this Bambietta. And, okay. This character came out as a nuker before Very Hard Guild Quest was even out. And for then, let's say you got her max ascended, yeah, easy, sub 1 second remaining. And now, it got changed. For the first time Ranged Captain came back in Very Hard Guild Quest, it was very easy because Caleb decided to change the spawn waves of the enemy mobs. Rather than being all spread out, they were all into one corner, just so that way you can get away with using Bambietta's barrage attack. And for that one Guild Quest rotation, she was actually pretty solid. But ever since then, she was never good again. She was never good again because of the simple matter of fact that, okay, let's take a look at everything else. Full stand 30, okay, solid, not bad. I think it's still pretty good. Damage to burning enemies 40%, cool, but you need to proc the ailment first, okay? Bombardment, okay, it's only good for nuking a phase, but that's it. You're not nuking anymore. Increased status element chance against speed attribute enemies. You do need a speed mob to get the 80% SP boost active, but it's not against Soul Reapers. 80% SP boost, recharge, weaken defense. No Berserker, by the way. No Berserker. And what else? Havoc, paralysis immunity, Sprinter +1, and she only had burn on the entire kit. Only burn. No paralysis, no freeze, no way to stop the enemy mobs. She was by far the worst aged barrage attack character. We don't count Iba. We don't count Iba because he was never designed for Guild Quest whatsoever. He may look like he's a Guild Quest character, but he never was. Like, he was just a random mid-month character gone wrong. We do not count this character whatsoever. This character we do because she was made for Guild Quest. She even has the skill set made for Guild Quest, and she aged worse than 1000-Year Blow Riichiru Unohana for Guild Quest. I'm sorry. And the SA1 being the vortex kind of attack, keep in mind, it's a suction vortex, did not help because you needed a beam to even be able to snipe some enemy mobs, get to the middle, do attacks, and get all the damage in. Like, the biggest issue was always with the fact that she didn't have too much damage, and she only had burn. She only had burn as the ailments, and that's why I have her as the 6th most disliked character, so... and the crazy thing is, for me, keep in mind, my Bambi is only 3-5. To get 40 seconds remaining, I needed to wait for the 9th anniversary Grammy to come out, and I finally got 40, which is bad. I want a replacement for Ranged Captain already as a main. I don't like using this character. No way. I had enough. I had enough. It's time for a replacement. Her time, for me, is already gone, so I don't want that character. Come on. Give me a new character. That's all I'm asking. Number 5. We're moving into the territory of the characters I hated the most because 2020 was filled with so many bad releases, and you guys are going to see a mix in between 2020, 2021. You guys get the point. This can't fear your own world Kenpachi. I was very hyped for this character because it was a Shikai Kenpachi. Nozarashi Kenny, and keep in mind, when the Mind 1000-Year Blood War Kenny came out, he had a good kit, but God, he was bad with dodging and being able to clear through the quest as fast as possible. He was slow. He only had 1 flash step. Every single character in this game will always have, on average, 2 flash steps. If a unit gets sprint +2, it's 3. And of course, if you're a Soifun Yoruichi, Sprinter +1 built into the character, you basically have 4 flash steps, and then you have 1000-year blower Yoruichi that has like freaking 5. And there's also Sprinter +3 now, so Mugetsu, who has that kind of skill, actually has 4 flash steps. So yeah, going back on topic with this character, he was the very first ever technique link slot potion character to allow you to farm speed link slot potions. We did not have any of the other crazy stuff later on, like Uryu, Halibal, those kind of characters, and we didn't even have the link slot potion links like the Academy Momo. This was back in the day when they started releasing farmers, and he was made as a NAD unit. He worked in Guild Quest, don't get me wrong, because it was really solid to use. He did have, you know, the Plant Vortex, and I'm also going to get into the Plant Vortex in a minute. Like, for Guild Quest, he was solid, but he was made as a farmer. And the thing is, this guy didn't have guard break. He was bad to play. Like, okay, if you were up against Aronker mobs, that didn't matter too much, because Aronker mobs don't generally have melee guard. They don't have it at all. But against Soul Reapers, Hollows, no affiliation mobs, we didn't have Quincy or human mobs back then. Guess what? You do have melee guard against them, so you always have to use a strong attack just to break through the guard and get to kill the enemy mobs. And it was so AIDS using this character. I did not have a fun time using him except for epic raids. And after I max ascended him, I was really happy about this guy being really solid in Guild Quest, but God, it did not improve too much when it came to co-op content. And after a while, when he started getting featured a lot in the Spirits Are Forever With You banners, I still have PTSD of when I summoned for Kisuke and Shinji, if you guys remember, and have been, you know, watching me for a long time. Yeah, getting this character with so many more duplicates, oh my God, I had PTSD of that. No innate abilities, but like, bro. Okay, cool, Beam, I'll take it, but the SA2 should have been a fucking walking vortex, not a plant vortex. I am sorry, but I think that plant vortexes need to fucking die already. I am sick of them. And the fact that we still get these ass SA2s, bro. Even the tech Soifun has it, but I'm not giving her too much discredit, because for Guild Quest, it was made so that way you can stun lock enemy mobs and do a bit of damage, and it worked. And guess what? It even works for the likes of, you know, using her to buff technique characters. I'm talking about Spirits Are Forever With You Toshiro. That Soifun is a good buffer to him. And then a full screen SA3, like, oh my God. The thing is, bro, Kenpachi, this character barely gets any fucking good units. If you compare the amount of characters that Kenny got compared to Rukia, it's a fucking night and day difference, and I'm more so happy that 9th anniversary Kenny actually finally gotten a broken version, which was really good and is the best character in the game. Top 3 best units in the game at that. And the last good Kenny before that was the Spirits Are Forever With You one, which was also good. Like, I never hated that Spirits Are Forever With You one. It's just that, unfortunately, for Guild Quest, he did get, you know, replaced by Yama, but he was still solid in co-op content. So I'm just gonna say that. And, yeah. Kenpachi always had the treatment of always being a flurry character, or when you get an SP character, it was never gonna be that good. So, yeah. At number 4, I have 2 characters this time around. And I'm gonna pair them together because what were they thinking? What were they thinking? Cien and Rukia. These were the final Spirits Are Forever With You canon novel characters. They released them as, like, you know, quote unquote part 3 of the 7th anniversary. It was after, like, a whole month after 1000-Year Blower, Yama, Yuha, and Aizen came out. And they didn't do him justice. They really did not do him justice whatsoever. And it was the very first ever novel and final novel banner that I have skipped because the characters were not worth it. They just weren't. I didn't even do the discount multis, I just completely skipped the characters because of how disappointed I was. And I was very disappointed with Rukia too, because this character used Mugetsu on the Soul Bomb. I was very hyped about this character, and I know how good she was in the novel. And the crazy thing is that, for starters, she had Hollow Killer, and back then, you know, for nuking, Yama was meta. Yama was completely meta, so getting this character was completely irrelevant besides having a really solid, up-to-date tech character, because back then, the best tech unit for that time was Art Book Ichigo. So, skill-wise, she was better than Art Book Ichigo. So let's just get that out of the way, for starters. And she had Berserker 40, Frenzy +1. They still kept the freaking Bruiser, so stupid. Devastation of 40%. Complete status immunity shared at that. Sharpshooter with 80% SP boost. Like, the skill set was godly. And she also had full stamina only, increased strong attack damage of 40%. Team Party recovered 20% stamina and long stride. So yeah, she was also a very speedy character at that, because she had 3 flash steps. Like, the DPS that she had on the skills was good. But they cocked her kit. I'm like, bro, if you're gonna make another Hollow Killer that isn't gonna be competing with Yama, you needed to make her really good. And they did not. They gave her an 18% shave, which was already bad. As a 2, she only got the Homing Vortex. Alright, the Homing Vortex, I'll be 100% honest. It was still better than, you know, your general, bad SA2. Like, if you guys ask me, the Barrage Attack, in my opinion, I'm starting to not like it so much, whereas the Homing Vortex, you keep the enemies stun locked, you do damage, you inflict, and once you know, have characters with damage to weaken enemies, damage to lacerate enemies, all that kind of stuff, that Vortex is going to help you do so much damage, and it works for the most part. But my issue with it is, bro, this should have been a 960 and 2 Homing Vortex. If it was the 960 and 2 Homing Vortex, I can forgive that they gave her the 18% shape, but it just did not feel good. Even when I was test playing the character, I just didn't like it. I just didn't like the character whatsoever. And your best strong attack was always going to be the SA3. Being the full screen, you get all the damage output out, and once you got the 80% SP boost, monstrous damage. But like, bro, again, she should have gotten the 916 to Homing Vortex, bro. I'll even be happy if she got the 8th anniversary Ichigo SA2, the renewed Ulk with the 715 and Homing Vortex. That would have made it so much better. Honestly speaking, it would have made it so much better in the long run, and even better if she had increased element chance, which she did not have. And she aged badly because of that. Or if you want to keep the Homing Vortex, give her a beam. She should have had the beam, not this. Not this. And that's why she did not age the greatest. Like, at max, I'm just gonna say that she was slightly better than Art Book. But that's it. That's honestly it. I did not like this character. Still do not like her. And I'm glad I never pulled for her. Lino, I love you, bro. No homo. But my opinion still remains unchanged. Like, sure. The thing is, we even at that time had Spirits Offer with Yoruichi getting increased element chance, no? So there's that. And then Cien was not that much better either. The crazy shit is that he had what Rukia needed. Like, look at this increased element chance, damage to burning enemies and lacerate. Imagine all of this shit was on Rukia. Imagine all of this shit was on Rukia. It would have been so much better. And then he did not have the SP boost soul trait, or skill. I can't fucking talk. He had super potions. Only super potions, no potions, and he was meant for inheritance trials. And this guy was not that much better than Rukia, besides having a bit of a lower DPS output. Like, he had the terrible SA1 of 7th anniversary Ichigo. The cross-shaped attack. Garbage. 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 I don't like it. And then your only redeeming quality is the SA2 being the 3K length beam. Huh? Really? Why is that not the SA1? Hello? What the fuck? And then a full screen SA3. Map by AoE skill, sharpshooter, sprint +1. They did not do justice whatsoever to these characters, and that's why I have them both classified as number 4, because they just, I don't know, both of the kits were not that crazy, and DPS wise, Rukia still had better DPS, but they just cucked her in the long run with the actual skill set, and CN just got a slightly better skill set, no SP boost, but you still give him a goddamn SA1 that is bad. That is just atrocious. I'm glad I skipped him too. Actually, I think I did like a couple discounts for him, but like, I did like this character back then, but now the more I use 7th Anniversary Ichigo, the more I hated that SA1, and I'm just glad I never pulled him. And then Spirits Offer with Economy came out, and that solved my problem of missing the Super Link Stop Pushing character for Heart. So, these characters were bad. They did not age the best at all, and Rukia was completely replaced by goddamn Spirits Offer with Toshiro in just a matter of months. Actually, even for co-op content, the goddamn 1000-Year Blower anime Uryu was better than Rukia for co-op content. So like, she just died. She just freaking died in like a couple months. Up next, and number 3. I fucking hate you, Caleb, for making this character the way she was. I'm glad that they never did this ever again for any type of limited character. Novel, 1000-Year Blower. I'm very happy this was not ever repeated, and I don't want to see that ever again for anyone else. A favorite Stern Ritter, a favorite Quincy, a favorite Soul Reaper, a favorite Orankar. This should not fucking exist. Aura. Aura was a character we were all waiting for during the Can't Fare Your Own World novel being added into the game, and the characters were coming. They did make her model and have her in the story mode when Can't Fare Your Own World Kisuke, Halibo, and Nelio came out. I remember. And we were all anticipating that she would be next. We waited. It took like 3 banners later, what was assumed the last round of Can't Fare Your Own World, round 8, with Hikone, Shuhei, and her. And this character, compared to Hikone and Shuhei, was the worst character in the entire year of 2020. Now forget the skill set, because back then it was always you needed Frenzy +1 with Berserker 20, Havoc of 20%, and that was it. We did not have any of the crazy skill set that we have in today's meta. Like, you needed more damage, and sometimes when you get a bit of a weird kit, it did not matter back then. But back then in 2020, it really mattered having a really strong kit, like Bankai Shinji, 5th Anniversary Ichigo, Daddy Ichigo, Mummy Rukia, those characters. We're talking about those mainly. But yeah, she had no affiliation killer. Back then, I'ma keep it real with you. You needed to be 5/5 when you did not have killer active, because Frenzy +1 and Berserker 20% was high for the time, but it was not good enough for like being able to clear very fast content. So let's just get that out of the way. You needed 5/5 the character if you wanted her to perform even decently enough. Okay? No innate abilities, of course, because that came like with 1000-Year Blower Yama. So yeah, the tech one. She had the 18% shave. You guys already know about this, so I don't need to repeat myself. They did not even do justice with the SA2. If you guys don't know what the fuck this is the Crawling Vortex. So, what the spirits are forever with you, Uryu had, this Gin, this goddamn Rukia, Ajin. Wait, no, Sajin doesn't have the Homing Vortex, excuse me. He has the Plant Vortex and Christmas Nini. And funny enough, even the hard Zalopro had it, and that was the last character to get the strong tech, so thank God they did not repeat that SA2 ever again. Like, bro, this is the worst combination ever. You just cannot do this. You cannot. And she was the most garbage character to ever come out overall. You only had one good SA, and that was it. The full screen SA3. SP boost was not a thing. You did not have increased ailment chance. You did not have all those crazy berserker full stamina damage boost, damage to weaken enemies. None of that. None of that. This was the past, and they did her so goddamn dirty. And I was so disappointed because back then, keep in mind, we did not even have 25 steps with pity. Back then, it was do 10 steps, 2 guaranteed 5 stars. After you were done with the 10 steps, you just kept on repeating 250 orbs for a 6% chance to get a 5 star, and it was always 12 characters, and the banners were so bad. Like, oh my god. Yeah. They were absolutely dog shit. They were dog shit. And I pulled her, but not Hikone and Shuhei. I felt absolutely miserable after showcasing the character because I love the visuals of her. That was the only good redeeming quality. The goddamn visuals on the essays. But she was fucking garbage. And they did her bad. The crazy shit is that she's never getting a remake. I don't know what the fuck K-Lab is doing, but they just refuse to renew the novel license. Whether it's, you know, talking about original designs or like brand new novels. There's still some novels that they can still adapt to BBS. I hope you guys know that. Like, We Do Not Always Love You. I don't remember all of the Bleach novels that are out, but like, you guys get the point. There's still so much that they can actually do that they have not done yet. And they don't want to remake Can't Remember characters. They're so slow with resurrecting the Can't Remember characters. We only gotten 2 rounds done. The first round was like back in December, and the second round was fucking July. And the crazy shit is that once she gets her resurrection, there's nothing that they can do to save her. There is absolutely nothing. The kit is gonna stay as is. It doesn't matter if she gets SP boost 50%. It doesn't matter if her berserker gets up to 60%. She will forever be a garbage character to use. So what's the only redeeming factor? Just give her a good soul trait and call it a fucking day. Like, I don't know. At this point, just give her 20% SP boost, and then I think it'd be really solid because we don't have any SP boost link with recharge. I'd actually love that at that point. So yeah, it's just so unfortunate. And what I stated for Aura, the same thing can be stated for Cien and Roka. Like, these 2 characters just are not getting remakes because these are novel exclusive characters. It's so fucking disappointing. It's not even funny. Up next at number 2. Thankfully, this was the only character they repeated Aura's kit and never again. And I hope to God it never happens. Ever, ever, ever. And this character, bro, we had started the year of 2021. And he was the worst character already and still stands as the worst character of 2021. This power is all out, bro. I fucking hate everything about this character. Now, granted, Aura was a one-time only character, and to be honest, I should have put her at number 2. But I hate this fucking character more because he's a premium character. Every time I pull this character from tickets, it pisses me off. His quote pisses me off. His artwork pisses me off because it's seriously a goddamn troll face saying, "Oh yeah, get fucked. You pulled me. Oh hell yeah, you're gonna use me to farm crystal jewel." Fuck off, Zalopro. I fucking hate you, bro. I swear to God, he was the very first Quincy killer, and they did not do justice with him whatsoever. Damage to poison enemies of 20%, Berserker 20, Bruiser 20, Frenzy +1, and they repeated the same kit as Aura, bro. 18% shave, plant vortex. Okay, no, this was worse. This was not the crawling vortex. This was the fucking plant vortex. So on top of having the 18% shave, you had this bad essay that wasn't that mentioned on the list that this Kenny has. And was an SP character. Even worse. Even worse. And then the SA3 was full screen. The only good redeeming factor. And this guy had no Havoc. back then, mid-month characters were not getting Havoc. So like, seeing this character be done so dirty was just an insult. Like, God, I swear, I'm happy that Caleb is not doing these kind of characters anymore. Because God, this was so fucking garbage. Honestly, I hate this character with a pure goddamn fashion. This was a bit of a short one, but you guys get the point. Thankfully, Zalapro can get remakes still. We did get the Heart one, which was slightly better than the Power one. Like, he at least had a good SA1. Like, let me just pull up the Heart Zalapro real quick, okay? Like, this is what we got, like, a couple years later. And it was actually better than the Power one. Just, they cucked him with the SA2. But the skill set was okay. Like, Berserker 40, hard attribute, Aronker damage, status on affected enemies. This can be really good. Actually, what the fuck am I saying? This is already good for likes of Future Society Noitor if you want to use them in guild quests. So there's that. The soul trait is good. Like, damage lacerated enemies 40%. No recharge though, but you guys get the point. And he had a solid SA1, like a 750 AoE, but they cucked him with the SA2. They gave him the Crawling Vortex, and yeah, pretty much. This was the last character to get the Crawling Vortex. So yeah, and he was back in 2023, so I'm glad that they did not repeat it and whatsoever. So the remake could have been better, for sure. We can still get like another Zalapro, but at this point, I want a transforming Zalapro. But yeah, I fucking hate this character. They designed them badly. And once again, I hate everything about this character. I hate everything. Absolutely. I'm not ready for number one, man. I am not ready for number one because this is a character that, if you guys know me, you guys have been watching my channel. If you guys have been following my channel for the longest of time, ever since that character dropped, I always had a problem with how she was built up. And that character, unfortunately, she has the skill set of Unohana and Kilgay, yet she underperforms to both of them in Limit Breaker Quest and Guild Quest, and she's a freaking fraud for what she was designed for. Rukia. Now, before I begin, if it weren't for that one huge problem, she'd easily be one of the best power characters in the game, competing alongside Mugetsu, Soifun, and Future Society Okiura. But because of how she was designed, she doesn't even fucking come close whatsoever. Unohana and Kilgay are capable of getting 50 seconds remaining, and they both have a similar skill set as this. Somewhat. Not 100% the same, but somewhat. But they had to fucking nerf her because, for one, her SA2 was a heal, and you cannot inflict ailments on that. But that's not even the biggest problem, because 1000-Year Blower Soifun, she too cannot inflict ailments with that SA2, but guess what? Did it stop her from being good in Guild Quest? No, she was still really effective. 45 to 48 seconds remaining with a 1000-Year Blower Soifun was easily achievable. Her fucking SA2 is melee. It's fucking melee. So it's the same problem as, hold on, Kiryu right here. And this is a character made for Limit Breaker Quest. Guess what? In Limit Breaker Quest, you have the range damage multiplier rule. Your SA1 is gonna be fine. Your SA3 is gonna be fine. Your SA2 is only going to do half the fucking damage that you would expect from a character with Rampage. Let that fucking sink in. Let that fucking sink in. And in Guild Quests, because this is a melee freaking strong attack, you're bringing her into ranged Aronkor Guild Quest. You do 1 damage with this fucking essay. 1 damage. She underperforms compared to 7th Anniversary Ichigo with the Academy Shuhei buff. Like, And the bullshit thing about this character is that she never got fixed. She's about to become a year old in like a couple months from now. When the fuck did this character come out, bro? Fucking October 31st of last year. We're getting there. We're at the end of August. And she was never fucking fixed when the likes of Future Society Orihime was fixed. Ulquiorra, he had a bug that say too, was fixed. Fucking Halloween Toshiro, he had a fucking trap mechanic on the SA3. It was classified as a melee attack. Guess what? They fucking fixed that too. And these were all characters made for Guild Quest, Limit Breaker Quest, not Orihime and Toshiro, but like, bro, they were both made for content that they were designed for. This was made for Limit Breaker Quest, and they never bothered to fucking patch this damn SA2 out. And I hate K-Lab for how they made this character, but guess what? I also hate the fucking Glazers that literally loved to suck hard so goddamn hard that they will always prefer this fucking character as a power unit. I pulled her. I showcased her. She's not that fucking character that you guys deem her to be good. She's only good in Inheritance Trials. Only good in Inheritance Trials. The amount of times I tried using her in Limit Breaker Quest, she fucking failed me because of the stupid rule. Like, bro, I can't use her as a main in Guild Quest. I can't use her as a side unit, but you want to explain how fucking 8th Anniversary Ichigo works? Like, I used him as a side unit in Range No Affiliation Guild Quest, and guess what? He was pretty solid, even though he only had Frenzy +3, Full Stam 20, and a shit SA1. But guess what? He still had Weakening and Drain on the entire kit, and also had the 750 into Tracking Vortex. And because of that, with my Macy, who was 2-5, and my Max Transcendent Misaki, with the Mugetsu link, I was capable of getting 50 seconds remaining. Now, obviously, I'm not going to use that team anymore because of Thousand Year Blower Toshiro existing, the Bankai Hollow one, but you guys get the fucking point. At least this guy, he worked in Guild Quest. Even though he was very underpowered, this character doesn't even fucking work. Like, bro, I managed to replace Kagerosa with this character right here, and I did pretty damn fine. Like, and okay, sure, a lot of you guys are gonna say, hey, Thani Ichigo's worse than Rukia. Yeah, I get it. But the thing is, he's gonna be still the more consistent one, and Rukia's like the faster one you want to use. You do have the recharge one moving in between quest areas, so that kind of does help her out, but like at that point, even fucking Future Society Ulquiorra is better than her for IT. Even Mugetsu, even Soifon. As a matter of fact, even with the lack of guard break, she'll actually be a lot faster than her with the skill set that she has. And even fucking Lige. Lige, matter of fact, is the best IT character to use. Compared him to Yumichika, guess what? Even with these two characters compared, yeah, the only reason why I'm giving Rukia, like, the better score is because when she does not have the range damage multiplier and the slot 3 is fine and you are tackling on technique or ronkers or any technique mob, this character can be good, except the amount of times I've had her and tried to use her, it was never the fucking case. Anywho, going back onto the glazing part, yeah, let's just say you guys made me hate this character way more, besides K-Lab completely cucking her. And you guys will see why in a good minute. Alright, so this was the Power top 10 list that I did back in January. Now, keep in mind, Power was in a way worse spot compared to now, where we got a bit better characters. But what I did was put 8th Anniversary Ichigo at numero 1, numero 2 Yamamoto, and then I put Rukia here, and here. Hold on, for how long was I talking for? From 16 minutes to 21. Yeah, I basically spent a good 6+ minutes talking about her flaws, how she was having these problems, and guess what? I got fucking bitched in the comment sections because of my take on Rukia. This is fucking disgusting. Like, I was forced to change my opinion, honestly. And it's all cause I placed Rukia underneath Yama in Ichigo, which fucking Yama was better in Guild Quest than her. He does 50 seconds remaining at max transcendence, and you can get the godly RNG. It's just a fucking bitch to get it, but like, bro, he'll still do better than fucking Rukia in the respective Guild Quests. Of course, now not anymore, but back then, yes. This guy was it. We didn't have any fucking better character for Melee Hollow back then. Quincy Ichibe. Like, that's just about it, but like, bro. Fucking stupid, bro. Fucking stupid. Okay, to be fair, we had Yuha, but even then, as a side unit, Yuha, Yama, and Bruno, I still got like fucking 50 seconds remaining, something like that. Like, he was effective as a side unit as well. Are you fucking using Rukia as a side unit? Fucking no, bro. Fucking no. Anyway, let's just go over the comments. So, Rukia slander is crazy. I don't even think 8th Annie Ichigo's that good anymore outside of Auto. Limit Break Request, he has had some rotations where he was good, but I'm not gonna defend 8th Annie Ichigo for that either, so I'll just take it as is. Alright. Just 2 essays in GQ. Rukia is way better than Ichigo and Yama. No. 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 User in every limit break request. I come from the future. No. No. Rukia is not fucking better. Yeah. That is agreeable. Yuha, Yama, Bruno, Yama. Yes. Yes. But guess what? You can fucking get higher scores with Yama than fucking Rukia. Rukia Max Transcendence gets like around fucking 42 seconds remaining. Max Transcendence. With Yama, if you get the good RNG, you can. You fucking can. But, going down. Yeah, the comments were fucking stupid. I'm sorry. Rukia's over Yama. No. Back then, sure. Yama number 2. No. No. Fucking doesn't. I'm underestimating her. Keep in mind, when I ranked her, I did not even own the character, so I'll be 100% realistic on that. But a couple months later, I did get her on my birthday. I did. And, I showcased her. This was the Parasol Rukia showcase I did. Okay, excuse the potato quality, but like, okay, in IT, like I said before, she was pretty good. She was a great character to... Goddamn ad. Yes, I don't have YouTube Premium. I'm not buying that, but... Going over the topic of Limit Break Request. Limit Break Request, I used her in slot 1, and she had the power attribute, range damage, no killer effect, but like, these were the rules. For the SA1 and SA3, it was gonna be completely fine. She was able to one-shot the mobs in like the first couple of stages. But once I built up the Rampage and have actually used the SA2, like, hold on, you guys will see in a good actual minute. This was with True Rules active, and of course the range damage rule being in effect. How high did we get the Rampage up there? Let me see. Doesn't exactly 40%, okay. But yeah, the SA2, yeah, it did half the damage. It did half the damage. That's not good. That's really not good. So goddamn. And people were defending this fucking character like crazy. And this is after I got the Rampage completely built up, and watch again. Watch again. Okay, now it did better damage against the smaller mobs because the Rampage was built up. But look at the fucking bigger mobs. They took no damage. And the SP boost was also active, no? It was active. Holy shit. Okay, it wore off, unfortunately, but like, you guys get the point. It does half the damage. That's not good. That's not good at all. Like, you guys were defending this character? Yeah. Anywho, I was forced to change my opinion and actually put her over both 8th Annie Ichigo and Yama. And also, I had one crazy comment saying this. Hold on. Compared to Orihime no Kiora, the SA2 is intended. It's not a bug, so they don't have to fix her. That's by far the stupidest statement ever. No disrespect or offense, but like, no. This is a bug. I still consider this to actually be a bug. Because if she was built for limit break request, this should not be a freaking problem. I should not do half the damage. I should not do half the damage. Like, bro, in Gale Quest 2, alright, we're at the start. Okay? This is boss 1. And yeah, I wasn't using my SA2. But like, once I use it against Lilinette, no damage. No damage. No damage. I can only do damage with my SA1 and SA3. I'm getting hard carried by 1000-Year Blower, Aizen, and Kisuke. This should not be a fucking thing for a main character. No. This is the character that these goddamn Glazers were defending. And she's a loser. She's a loser for guild quests. And ever since then, when I updated the top 10 again, I actually did dip Parasol Rukia. But with all due respect, since Yama did officially fall off with Mugetsu coming in, replacing him as the side unit, and even Bruno, to the point that even just having Shinji or Kensei to be the booster, yeah, he just, the only thing he had going for him was the God Kit, so that's why I put him lower than Rukia. And 8th Annie Ichigo, it's whatever, we don't talk about him, but yeah, the crazy thing about this is people are still defending this character. People are still defending this character. But before I get into it, I do want to thank the people that have watched the top 10 list, because so far it has gotten a lot of positive feedback from this. I'm glad that people have actually enjoyed it and actually respected what I went for. Now, there were some people saying that they prefer Unohana over Kenny, but that's completely fine. I can understand why. Better kid. Yeah, I get it. Even though Kenny did overpower Yuichiro Unohana, I'm also for the mindset that I prefer Unohana, but I have to be realistic when it comes to, you know, yeah. Career MVP for that, I would love to freaking dip her out. By the time we get more power units, I'm getting her the fuck off my list. No. Yeah, she hits like a god. A goddess, don't get me wrong, but why the fuck does she perform worse than Yuichiro Unohana and Kyuuge? And before I keep on scrolling down, I do want to state that if you guys enjoy this character right here, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not gonna give you guys shit for it, but to call her good, defend her when I've clearly given out the flaws already, like, you guys just need to calm down. It makes no goddamn sense. Yeah, there was one guy that actually did defend Rukia here. Parasol Rukia hate is so forced. No. For starters, it's not forced. It's my actual goddamn opinion of me owning the character, using her. Good in Guild Quest? No. Right in Limit Breaker? No. Like, sure. This doesn't need to be, this literally cannot be here, but like, there's been more Limit Breaker requests where the range damage rule was there and you could never use her. And guess what? Would use better characters. So many better range characters exist over her. Freaking Oak. I can't think of anyone else right now. Even Toshiro, actually. I would actually argue to say that Toshiro's better. By far for a Limit Break request. Yeah, Recharge. Better than 8th Annie Ichigo. But like, no, she's not good in Guild Quest. Replied with this. 46 average with Parasol Rukia. Not good in Guild Quest. Basically reiterating the same thing. The same exact freaking thing. And I also stated the point of 8th Annie Ichigo working as a side unit. Whereas Parasol Rukia, you can't even fucking use her as a side unit. And then shoutouts to Scar in general. Yeah, because he is, hello, more consistent. You have all of your essays available, and if you bring the Academy Shuhei and get the procs, you do more damage. Honestly. And then I just left him one final reply, but like basically reiterating the same damn problems that Rukia has. But yeah. Once again, no damage in Gale Quest because melee SA2. Damage being halved because it's a melee SA2 and Limit Break request. Only PvE content is where she excels. just about it. And of course stating that I've showcased her. Anywho, yeah, that's pretty much about it. I've stated everything that needs to pretty much be stated. And some people say that they don't understand the glaze for 8th Annie Ichigo. I actually respect this guy because he at least admits it, but also states that he's better than Ichigo in Limmerberg IT. Yeah, pretty similar in Guild Quest. That's a more factual thing to say because Ichigo's not that strong and Rukia is cucked with the SA2, so I'll definitely agree with that. But yeah. I don't mind this comment, but yeah. She definitely does clear way faster in IT, but at that point for me, it's just the better unit to use, and I've stated everything that needs to be stated. I'm just, I hate this unit. I hate how K-Lab never fixed her, and it's the goddamn people that glazed this character so damn much, defended her, that actually made me sick. Like, bro. No, this is not a crazy good character, and I want to get her off my top 10 for power. She's just that badly designed for the content she was made for, and it's a shame because I use Killgame more times and Unohana more times than this character right here, even after owning her. Anywho, that's about it. Those are my top 10 most disliked, most hated units ever in Brave Souls. So there's that. And before I end, a lot of people were disappointed of how Rukia was not the anniversary character. To the point that some people were even calling this anniversary bad just because their favorite Rukia character was not even among the anniversary characters, which I find it to be extremely fucking dumb. We'll get a 1,000-year blower Rukia in due time, but you guys need to fucking chill out because Rukia gets more characters than Kenny, and Kenny getting the 9th anniversary character, I don't mind it because he's just about as popular as Byakuya since he's one of the main characters ever done. Because, like, let's just take a look at Rukia. Rukia's gotten way more good characters than Kenny over the past 9 years of the game being alive. Like, if we take a look at this, all right, none of these Rukias are good. This Christmas one was solid when she was out, but nothing too crazy, but was good. This 1,000-year blower Rukia was hype. She was well done. Just the SA2 was a bit iffy, but she was a great character, best Ronker killer for that time. Dark Rukia, she was pretty mid, unfortunately. The Spirit Society Rukia was alright. She was good, mainly for Senkamen because of the burn proc. This one was mid. Frenzy, we don't count that. This tech Rukia was amazing when she came out, and was the best tech character for that time, and we didn't have Havoc, you know, being relevant in the meta too much. Only a couple units had it. This Desert Society Rukia, just no Havoc again, but she was the first Link Slot Potion character for the Heart attribute, and she was great for what she was designed for. She was the better Link Slot Potion character to use alongside the likes of Mind Kisuke. So there's that. And then this Rukia, she was broken upon release, so like, yeah, very, very good. Dark Rukia, she was okay, nothing too crazy. This Rukia sucked. This Rukia was great for Guild Quests. This Rukia sucked. And then you have this Rukia that is a fraud, and then this Rukia that is a GQ Nat character, which isn't saying a lot, but you guys get it. And then you guys compare Kenpachi. He barely gets that many good units in the time he comes out. Like, most of them are Brave battles, and like only good in Brave battles. Like, only good in Brave battle, no sprinter. Only good in Brave battle, no sprinter. Only good in Brave. Wait, he did pick up sprinter, no? On his resort, but like back then, I mean. Only good in Brave battles. This character, he had a good kit, but again, could not dodge and made it harder to clear fast. Not that good, unfortunately. This Kenpachi was great at autoing, but was mainly a Nat character, PvP. This was the first good Kenpachi that we got that was SP based. So, yeah, no Havoc, but like, he had basically the same kit as Fullbring Ichigo, so you guys get the point. This Kenny was ass. This Kenny was ass, except in Arena. Only good part. Brave battles, guard break, so you could use him to auto, but nothing too crazy. This Kenpachi was amazing back then when he first came out, so yeah. And then Kenpachi did not get a new unit in 2 years. and this guy was kind of left sitting in the dust, and yeah, and then we get the 9th Annie Kenny. So that just goes to show that I think Kenny deserved more so the anniversary character treatment than Rukia. Like, you guys need to chill out. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know who is by far your most disliked or your most hated unit by far in the comment section below. It'd be nice to hear other people's opinions, and again, this was my own opinion of these characters, what I hated the most. This was me being perfectly biased and nothing too factual to pretty much state here. It's just like when I did the video, you know, talking about who are my favorite characters. So yeah, hope to see you guys all in the next one, and take care, lads. Peace out. Bye. Sayonara. Ciao, ciao.